this resonated with me because it's really where we're all at.
Okay.
I think our parents were right. It was the damn phones. We laughed when we were children.
Yeah, no, of course.
It's that Snapgram and InstaChat and Face Talk. They didn't understand. They couldn't even say it right. I thought I knew better than them. They didn't know what it was like having a world to
My dad called it space
scrolled through the trash so much we had headlines tattooed on our skin. Wires for veins, AI for a brain, and they may not have understood that they were right. It is the damn phones. A drug in my pocket depended on stimulation, but can we blame us? We were but children when they were given. We didn't know how to stop it. If I added up all the hours I spent on a screen, existential dread and regret would creep in, so I ignore this fact by typing away. And it's not like I can throw away my phone. It's how we communicate. It's how we relate. It's the medicine that is surely making our souls die. I used to say I was born in the wrong generation, but I was mistaken, for do I not do everything I say I hate? When I look in the mirror, I see a ghost staring back. I try not to think about who I would be without technology. The character behind my phone screen has become self-aware. Almost worse than being naive, for I know it's poison, but I drink anyways. We used to be scared of robots gaining consciousness, to lie by the media companies to keep us distracted, as to not ourselves become conscious of the mess that they have created. We are the robots, we are the products, and so I sit and I scroll and I rot on repeat. Sit and scroll and rot until my own thoughts are what's being fed to me on TV, until my own feelings are wrapped in celebrities, until my body is a tool of my political identity, and so I sit and I scroll and I rot. And so I post on the internet how the internet has failed us, that I may not fail my internet presence. I think our parents were right. It was the damn phones.
Wow, depressing.
I don't think it was depressing. I felt that it was
No, I'm just kidding.
insightful for sure, because
yeah, my two of my daughter, well, actually all my kids have said they would prefer it if cell phones had never been invented.
who would I ask? What did you okay, how did you act as a real estate agent when you didn't have your phone all the time?
Pagers. We had pagers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming it was, you were in the office a
People
lot
used to come to the
more.
office all the time.
And then the phone rang and then you'd set up your appointment. I mean, it's the same thing as, hey, I'm
But
at
there
the
was
grocery
a
store. What
time-
else do you need? I
There
mean,
was a
we never
time when
did that.
The MLS was in a book,
Yes.
and they would put out a new book every week, and you'd have to tear the pages out of the ones that closed.
Oh
or went
my
pending.
God, that's
So
crazy.
there were MLS
Its
books.
book was like that.
Yeah.
And
Really?
one time I had it on my console and it pushed the passenger seat heat on. And I didn't know it. I had my client. He's kind of like,
Sweating.
Oh, that,
It's hot up here. It's
I feel a little sick.
My mom said that
I love that
the
fish.
purchasing thing was like 3 pages.
Oh, you talking about the contract?
Yeah,
Yeah, the contract's just a couple of
3
pages.
pages.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was a lot different. People had to drive and come into the office and sit down,
Yeah.
right? Because they couldn't go onto the internet and find
Right.
any properties. There
Right.
was no
Yeah,
Right.
you had
MLS
to go
online.
I
drive
remember
around.
my first computer. It was a Hewlett Packard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought I was the shit.
And you couldn't do anything on
You
it.
were the wrong diggity.
You could
I was the
type.
bomb diggity.
Yeah.
Well, because I was a legal transcriptionist. So when I got my computer, I was like so smart, but that's funny. Anyways,
So-
in the day.
Interesting that you start with, how bad cell phones are, and then we go right into a training about how we need to be more digitally present on cell phones.
no, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's crazy.
My dad used to call Facebook.
Facebook.
He didn't even know what it was, but he called it Facebook. So, he had his own, language. Probably where I picked it up.
Of course. So does anybody have any idea what the percentage is on the number of, or the percentage of real estate transactions that start on social media?
No.
Maybe 30%.
That's kind of what I was
Start on social media.
guessing.
Wait,
What percentage of a real estate transaction starts on social media or on a phone?
I would say 65%.
We mean start on a phone. You mean we're
The
talking
real
about
estate
contracted
transaction
or?
starts on the phone.
Oh, I would say,
So you said 35?
Yeah, but I
She
would-
didn't understand.
yeah, but I thought you
Okay, so
meant,
revise your number.
okay, hang on. This is pressure. I would say probably 80 to 90% start on the phone.
I said 65.
What, 65 or
Look at how cute Terry looks.
90?
That's not just meeting people, it's.
Black White
discussing
Market.
real estate.
What?
Yeah.
White House, Black
Yeah,
White.
so the data from
Those are green.
about a year ago was 93%.
Oh my gosh.
93%, right? 93% of every real estate transaction starts on
93.
a phone
Oh,
or
wow.
on a device, on a tablet, on a computer, on a website, some way digitally, right? So somebody is introduced to a home, to an agent, to an area, to properties. It's all on our phone, right? Because what are we doing? Apparently, this kid says that we're on our phones nonstop, and we have to be on our phones. That's the way we are right now. We're having this discussion, and two people are on their phones. So
Go to a restaurant,
yeah,
even the old people,
I know.
yeah.
which is me.
Who,
But I
who
mean-
has ever just had an evening, a quiet downtime evening in your house, and it's you and your partner and your kids, and you're just all sitting on your phones?
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just like, I just give me 20 minutes. I need to decompress. And you're on your phone. And then an hour and a half flies by and you're like, wow, that was an interesting hour and a half.
Yeah.
Right. So it is what happens, right? Everything starts digitally. So this is why it's so important for us to constantly have a digital presence, why it's important for us to have ways to reach out to our people. So with that, we're going to kind of go into, and we've done this before, but it's always good to bring these things back around, talking about our SOI, our sphere of influence, and why it is important. So who can, without reading, just give me a quick breakdown of what a sphere of influence is? What does it mean to have the SOI?
It's your
Sorry. She raised your hand. Sorry, go ahead.
overachiever.
It's the people that are around you, your friends, your family, that you dealt with, such as like, my mom's got a mouse problem right now, and the girl that comes to do the mouse knows my mom's a realtor, and so maybe, anybody that works with you, I feel like, or anybody that's worked with already, that have become your friends, is your spirit.
Anybody else want to add to that?
Referrals.
Referrals?
That's what I meant.
Anybody else?
Just
Sphere
people
of
that you
influence?
have connections with
Yeah.
or interactions with.
So I'll give you a couple of.
It wouldn't be door knocking. That's not your spirit of influence.
Wouldn't your Facebook friends be your sphere of influence?
Absolutely.
Or the gawkers or the
Absolutely.
stalkers?
Yeah. So there's a lot of people can be your sphere of influence. Doesn't have to be past clients, doesn't have to be personal acquaintances, anybody that follows you, anybody that you work with. So it might not even be real estate related. You go to the restaurant and you have a favorite server or a favorite manager, or the cook. That's your sphere of influence, because again, you did a great job this evening. I'm so happy that you're my server. Great. Well, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a real estate agent, right? I just made a connection. That's yet another person that's in my sphere of influence. So think of it two ways. One way, the analytical, scientific way, think of an atom, right? You got the nucleus, you're the nucleus, and there's the electrons, right? So the bigger your sphere of influence, just more electrons that are circling around you. The more comical way to think of that is think of the Peanuts character Pigpen.
Yeah, I barely.
Right? Pigpen, I know.
got through science.
I know. So you saw Peanuts, I'm sure.
Or biology or
Pigpen
anything
walks
important.
down the road and there's just this cloud of dust
Yeah.
and dirt and,
Oh,
and
but I
flies
like
all around
Pigpen.
him, right? So that's his sphere of influence. Like wherever he goes, he's constantly interacting with those people.
No, that's
So-
really mean, by the way.
What do you mean?
That not you, just that, they called him Pigpen.
Well, it's a little dirty, I guess. Yeah, this is before political
know.
correctness and soft people.
people have
you know?
Stop being so woke.
Right?
So the more we connect with our sphere of influence, the more amplified it becomes. And a lot of times I feel like, we kind of get into little ruts and we connect less with our sphere of influence because it takes energy. It takes energy for us to reach out. It takes energy for us to create content. It takes energy for us to send emails, personal messages, video text messages, birthday reminders, anniversaries of closings, or whatever. It takes energy. And so sometimes when we're zapped on our energy, we put less into our sphere, and then our sphere becomes less interactive. It becomes less amplified. It becomes quieter. The atoms or the electrons get closer to the nucleus. It doesn't expand. So the more we interact with our sphere, the greater its amplitude. Does that make sense?
Amplitude? Amplitude?
Amplitude, that's a word.
Well, if you say amplify, it means makes bigger.
No, I
so-
did get it. I
Oh,
just
okay.
haven't heard anybody say that.
Sorry, my bad.
No, I like it.
So the more amplified we are, the bigger our reach is, and then the more dynamic our sphere of influence becomes. And then when you get large like that, when you're very, very dynamic that way, then all of a sudden you're starting to pick up referrals and contacts from people that are 3 or 4 degrees away from that initial contact, right? Because I mean, think about who's in our market has a large amplitude. Terry. Terry has very large amplitude. Great answer, right? So Terry probably gets connections and calls from, well, my neighbor said your cousin's mother used Terry. And that's how she gets a lot of her stuff, right? Because her amplitude is massive. All right. So there's your SOI. So it's people you already know, worked with, friends, family, past clients, colleagues, acquaintances. It's an essential part of an agent's business as they already have a level of trust and rapport, making it easier to connect with them and potentially generate business. Pretty basic what a SOI is. All right. The benefits of having a strong SOI. So referrals. Referrals are what? If you, I mean, are they like number 1, number 2, number 3 type of business that you want to have? If you had to rank it, 1, 2, or 3. One, right? Why is a referral like
Because-
the best source?
So my mom was just visiting her friend Lori down like towards Bakersfield, and she's got a bunch of friends because they live in like a 55 and older community. And there was a girl who was like, "Oh yeah, a girl from Tehachapi sold my house. I didn't like her." And I was like, "Who? Who was it?" She's like, she said she couldn't remember. But just it's like the restaurant business. If you have bad service, they're gonna tell 10 people. If they've got somebody that they like, they're gonna tell even more. You know, the referrals are people's bread and butter. You know?
So, but let's talk about why is a referral source such a strong source? Anybody have any other thoughts on that?
Because
Because
somebody's
it's personal
established
knowledge.
trust. Like they
Yes,
trust you.
because yes.
And that's why if you're a bad
That's-
person, like with not a good referral, like let's say somebody refers you and then you do a shoddy job, like that's horrible. Like then the person that referred you is embarrassed and they're like
Yes,
never doing that
absolutely.
again.
Absolutely. Yes, very true.
So,
Very
you
true,
know,
right? I went out on a limb for you and referred you and you blew it. That's it. I'm never
Yeah.
referring
'cause
you
that
again,
feel
right?
That
That's a
makes them
direct,
look
it's a
bad.
reflection on them and
Mhm.
their choice of character. And so they tend to take it personally and then they'll never refer anybody ever again
Mhm.
because it's like you just blew it.
So we talk all the time about when you meet a client for the first time, you got what, 3 minutes, 3 minutes to build trust, 3 minutes to build rapport. If it doesn't happen in the first 3 minutes, then it becomes a long battle to try to gain that trust. When you have a referral that comes from a trusted source, you walk in the door, that trust has already been established. It takes all that work off of you as the agent, right? You still have to show value. I totally agree. But getting your foot in the door, right? Like if you've ever gone to a listing appointment with a referral, how much less hard do you have to work at the listing appointment to try to create the trust and getting the business, right? You almost walk in the door and they're like, okay, just show me where to sign. You know, you just have, they want to just make sure you have a heartbeat, right? So it's pretty simple. So referrals, you're going to get a lot more referrals if your SOI is very dynamic. So we definitely want to build that part up. And how do you get those referrals?
You ask
Ask
for
for
them.
You ask for them. Absolutely, right? A lot of people, I've seen a lot of business cards over the years. You know, it's got their information on the front and they flip it over on the back and it'll be like a little one sentence that says, you know, your referral means everything to me or whatever the case might be, right? So ask for those referrals. How do you do that? How do you ask for a referral?
I'd appreciate you spreading the word. Like
Yeah, that's
just-
one
Hey,
way.
do you have any friends or family would like to sell a house
Yeah.
or
when
would
you-
like to
when
meet
you
a real estate
come
agent?
across your sphere of influence, when you bump into those people along the way,
Give them a card.
give them a card.
know,
Hey, you know,
That's a way of asking.
it's
"Hey,
great to
I
see
was-"
you again. Don't forget,
Mhm.
by the way, you know, and your referral means the world to me. So ask for them, right? And it's not that hard to do. You know, think about a politician. What do they ask for all the time? Your votes, right? It's the same thing. We're asking for them to vote on us. Spread the word to your friends. Okay, repeat business. When you have a great SOI and you have a satisfied client, they're going to want to come work with you again. How do you nurture that though? Do you just expect them to, you know, we had a great transaction, you're automatically going to come back to me, or they will forget about you if you don't put them in your SOI, if you don't put them around your nucleus in that field of electrons, if you let them sit way over here on the side and you're not actively engaging with them, they're going to forget about you. They'll forget about you and then they'll go with whoever pops up in their influence, right? Because everybody has a sphere of influence. Yeah, Maggie.
The first thing I look at is a listing, if it's the property history, to see if the person that's now has the listing was the one that sold it, just to see if a lot of times it's not the same person.
I would agree with you 100%. A lot of times it is.
I'm
the
like,
same person.
what? Yeah.
Especially when they came to buy it, they came from out of the area with an out of area agent, and now it's 2 years later, and that out of area agent never stayed in touch with them, and so they basically left them orphaned up here, right? And that can be a strategy to, or what we call as orphaning clients, right? So you represented the other side of the transaction. You maybe had the seller, the buyer comes in, right? Then you as the listing agent, you send stuff to the buyer's house. Hey, 1 year anniversary of when you bought this property, I was the agent on the other side. You know, 6 months in, hey, don't forget spring cleaning. You know, you send things to, it's not against the law. It's not against ethics, right? Because once that sale closes, agency disclosure comes to an end. Now
it's up to you to keep up the relationship.
It's up to you to keep up the
I
relationship.
had somebody, I had a listing and we were all at a meeting and I said the address, not knowing Elena. And Elena was like, wait a minute, how did you get that listing? I'm the one that sold the house to them.
Oops.
It was awkward.
Mhm.
It was really awkward. But like, you know, we watched their cat for free for like 5 days because they reached out over next door. And because of that, and because of where they were, so I was like, so what are you guys doing? You going on vacation? Yeah, I'm gonna go visit my husband. He's up in Utah. And I said, oh, you do vacations there? No, we're looking to move there. Really? And then that's how it was, you know, and it gave her my card, and that's how I got the listing. Like,
Good.
know?
Yeah, like, sorry,
And then
man.
Lena, like,
Lost
in
her
front of
shit.
everybody, you know, I just like, like that was my excuse. I'm like, we watched their cat for free for 5 days. And I happened to ask where she was going and why. And that's how it started.
And,
Yeah.
You know,
and like I said, that one time that Kristen Bowen, she goes to garage sales and goes,
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, but
if
you
you don't
can do
have
twofold
someone,
there, right?
here
Like,
I am.
I would like vlog going to garage sales in Tehachapi because I don't think anybody does it. Just, you know, do video blogs on, talking about a
they
garage
just had a
sale, I'm
huge
doing
one
this,
in the
and,
parking lot of
you
the
know,
club.
trying to
Yeah.
find a really good deal.
Yeah.
And I'm, you know, another man's junk is my treasure
Right.
kind of thing, and do this vlog, and then the whole time you're there, you're passing
You know
out
what? I should do
your
that.
information.
Totally.
'Cause
But
I
you
was
can-
trash girl.
You can tell she already looks like she's having a garage sale on her property. Just
Uh-oh.
kidding.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Where does
You
she
guys are
live?
giving me so many things to
They're
edit
right.
out of this video before I go.
Where?
See,
I
it's
know,
great.
right?
The second house on Cumberland, and I live next to Carrie Munoz, or I should say she lives next to me because I've been there for 20 plus years. Yeah, see, when I go have my husband clean up properties, there's so much good shit because my dad, I used to be with Ben Sanitation. That was my family. So we're seriously, you know.
She's Ben's dash.
You have like treasures, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the house that just came on the market over there on Cumberland?
That's Carrie Munoz's house. And I don't know why they're selling it, but
Yeah, they just built it. I think it's only been completed for what, a year and a
Maybe,
half. Yeah, who knows? She said she wanted to move into something smaller. That's what she told me. Nice home. I think. I haven't been
It's
inside.
beautiful inside, yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
No backyard, just side yard, which is
Yeah,
Bear
but it's got
Valley
a pretty
Road.
good size side yard. Though. It's pretty long.
Yeah, but who wants to hang out on Bear Valley Road?
Right. That's, you gotta be so noisy
Unless you
there.
just put out, you know, you could
Traffic
put out
coming down that hill.
a couple of Adirondack chairs and iced tea every day and just sit out there and just.
Hello, we're
that
having a
could be
good
your
time
thing.
here.
Pretty soon people start pulling over, you know,
Iced
great place to
tea
put a
or
lemonade
something.
stand.
No, a margarita stand.
Yeah,
All right, so let's go back to our SOI. What other reason? It's cost effective. Connecting with your SOI is cost effective. Why? Because you've already made contact with them. You don't have to pound them with advertising over and over and over again to get their attention. You already have their attention. So it's the path of least resistance to new business. Yet many of us invest so little time into our SOI. We're always investing a ton of time into trying to find new business when we already have this
Sources.
SOI that's willing to do the work for us, right? If we continue to reach out to our SOI, keep showing them why they're in our sphere and why we have value, they're going to keep reaching out and telling other people. Because think about it this way, we have one set of ears. So only one time are we listening to the environment around us. Do we occasionally pick up somebody saying, I'm looking to sell my house? You have a sphere of influence that is working for you and is connected to you. Now you have many sets of ears out there that are listening and hearing people say, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house. Oh, well, I have an agent. I know who you got to use so-and-so. That's how it's happening. So when you see the successful, the Terrys, the Lindas, the Lorenas, all the people that are in the top, it's
the
because
Joshes.
they have a sphere out there that is attuned and listening. And when they hear stuff, they throw out these names. They send these referrals, right? Everybody wants to refer. It makes them feel good. Oh, you used my agent? Oh, that's great, right? All right, so let's think about some of the different ways we can connect with our sphere of influence. All right, hosting an event. This one usually a little bit more, I should say less cost effective, but still can be very effective. Terry had an event, what was that, a month ago over at the winery here, invited all her sphere of influence, past clients, people that have given her referrals, and had a little cocktail party. That's one way we could do it. Us as a company, we could do it. We've had events here before. We've done our Easter event, but we could do more of a client appreciation event. Summertime's coming up. We could do a really nice picnic at the park.
When should I schedule it for?
Stop it.
Yeah, like Bear Valley Springs, we had a
Yeah,
taco
Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it at the
in that little,
area right
Yeah.
there? Yeah, we are a little bit hampered. It's very easy for us to get a
Set up
one-day
something.
permit and just stretch out on the lawn right here. We could do that. Or we could do something in the parking lot and just use the inside of the office. I'm totally fine with that. If you guys want to do stuff like that, I'm always looking for somebody to spearhead something like that. It would be great. But host an event. Could be housewarming party, holiday party, any kind of gathering, anything that brings people together, which also means here in the office, do a home sellers seminar, a home buyers seminar, bring in a lender, and let's talk about rates and different products out there. You bring somebody else in, and then you basically stand up and do the intro, and then you let somebody else come in and do the legwork, right? So I'd love to see more events like that. John's had his investors meeting going on now for a handful of years. And I've been in here a couple of times, and there's 12, 13 people in here, and there's a lot of activity, a lot of exchange of ideas going back and forth. So creating something like that. Personalized messaging. Okay, so this goes back to, what does it mean to be personalized messaging instead of broad messaging?
Direct to them.
Yeah, what did you say?
Put their name in it.
Yeah, put their name in it, direct to them.
Yeah.
So we've heard from Krista Mayshore when we watched her 3-day thing here, and I know Terry's been picking it up a little bit more. I don't know who else has raise of hands. Video messaging, video texting.
I've not done that.
Right? So, and Krista Mayshore says, just pick 10 people. You don't have to do all 300 people in your sphere of influence. So maybe in the beginning, just pick 3 until it gets a little bit easier to do. You know, hey Susie, I just wanted to reach out and touch base with you. I know you're probably not looking for anything right now, but if you hear anything out there or whatever your message might be, and that might be something simple for you go to baby AI, ChatGPT, give me 3 scripts of how I could send a video message out to my sphere of influence to make it sound, like I'm not salesy. I just want to touch base and say hi. I haven't seen you in a while. Maybe I'm going to be over at the winery this weekend. Stop by, say hi. But it's personalized. It's to them. Use their name. Like I said, pick out 3, pick out 5, pick out 10, knock them out. So is anybody else doing video text messaging? Who's received a video text messaging? What do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think it's sweet.
Yeah.
It's unique. Yeah, feels funny sometimes.
Feels funny to receive it or feels funny to do it?
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
A little awkward, but it stands out.
Yeah, just not a little unusual, but
Okay, so
I always appreciate it.
absolutely. So that's one way. The other way, email. I mean, yeah, a lot of email just gets thrown aside. But how about handwritten cards? I think people
You do
love.
that a lot.
Yeah, I think people love
I keep buying them
handwritten cards.
and I don't fill them out.
Mm.
So I'm just collecting
Okay.
them.
Okay.
Yeah. And this could be to anybody. It doesn't have to, again, it doesn't have to be to past clients. It could be anybody in your sphere. Hey, just wanted to send you a note. How awesome would that be to get your mail? Because now mail's junk now,
Yes.
and it's bills and it's whatever. But anytime I'm 51 years old. When I see a card that's smaller, colorful, and has my name handwritten on it, ooh, somebody sent me something. Yeah, what's this? And so open it up. And even if it's just a little note, but handwritten, I think is kind of the key, right? Nobody feels like you've made a personal outreach when you've sent something that's been printed off a machine and just as over, something with their names, a little handwritten note.
I haven't done that for a while.
Great, it's a great idea.
I've written 5 letters and all 5 were answered. And I got 3 listings out of them.
Well, you better start writing,
I
girl.
know.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Every day.
Wow.
No, it was in the
Start
beginning
writing away.
too. It was in the beginning. I was really surprised.
Yeah, so I mean, it means a lot, right? You take the time to write, people recognize that you take the time to write. Right? Even nowadays, you have all these scripts. Even for a while there in the very beginning, when you would get a letter with like a script, you would like, oh no, that's a
Yeah.
computer printer. That's a printer.
Even
you
one of
get
them
your
was
hopes up.
their address was like Manhattan Beach or something, and I said, I see that you live in Manhattan Beach. I lived there as a child. Like I tried to find some kind of
Connection.
that
Mhm.
it's not just the writing, but at least something else that would make them feel like, oh, maybe I should call her, and it's not just some random bitch asking for a
And I'm
Sorry. More editing.
All right, keep in touch with technology. Item number 3, keep in touch with technology. So use to your advantage creating a blog or a vlog, sending out a monthly newsletter, email updates, and then again, recording personalized video messages. So those are all different ways that we can do. We have the technology at our disposal. It's so easy to get stuff to people. The question is now, it's not about can we deliver it? It's how do we deliver it where it doesn't get ignored? Because everybody is getting bombarded with electronic. I mean, the young lady in that video, I think she was pretty clear about, it's almost toxic. It's almost to the level of being toxic. So how do we put something out there that feels different? How do we put something out there that doesn't feel toxic, that isn't making judgment, right? That is giving value. I know when I see videos on social media that have value in them, I'm much more readily sharing them to the people that I think would see them, so that's just another way there. Okay, providing value. So provide value to your SOI by sharing useful information with them. Market trends, upcoming events, new listings. What other kinds of things can you put out there to share value? Let's talk about what's going on right now in our industry. How many people are out here really in this community talking about NAR settlement? Nobody. I mean, I've seen it on social media, but it's from other areas. I haven't seen anybody in our community really feel comfortable enough to step forward and say, let me tell you what's going on with the NAR settlement. Let me tell you how things are going to change August 17th.
Can you give me a script? I'll do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can build you a script.
Right.
But that's super useful
That'd be
information,
good.
Yeah.
right? Really,
And
really
then
good
we could all
information.
forward your message to.
So this listing that I have coming up
I'll be
over
the guinea pig.
in
Yeah.
Fairview, nice listing, 825,000.
Ooh.
The reason why I got this listing is because when I went in to do my listing presentation, and they said, when we talked about commissions or compensation, however we're supposed to say it now, and I explained to them that they had no obligation to pay the other side. And they were like, what? What do you mean? I thought we had to. I said, no, you don't have to. Or our other agent said we had to. I'm like, yeah, they're going to come in and say that. Right. So I provided a certain level of value, of education, right? Education is a huge value. Just be careful. I would say be careful. And because I know I've had this problem before. If I start talking about a topic, sometimes my mouth just goes and I just have this massive stream of consciousness that feels like somebody's trying to drink water out of a fire hose. So you got to be very careful about how much you hit them, right? Give people little bits and bites. If you have a whole lot of information, don't feel afraid to say, okay, so that's it for part one. Check in tomorrow, part two. Break it out, 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts. Now you got 4 videos. Shoot them all at once, break them into parts, and now you have more content that you can put out there. Don't kill people with info.
So are you going to offer compensation
I was just gonna ask that. What did they
on
decide?
Fairview Ranch?
You know what? We haven't even sat down and had the final
Huh?
art talk about
Okay,
it yet.
all I see now are 2%.
Yeah, there's a lot of 2% out there. And I think, again, this is going to have to be countered by the BRBC. And there's going to be a lot of negotiations of compensation. Now our offers back and forth, that's where it's all going to happen. So there's going to be more things. And there's a video right there. Okay, so now that we get to that point, what our offer is going to look like in the future once we get to August 17th. Oh, guys, we're not just going to be talking about how much we're going to sell your house for and how many days are we going to close escrow. Now we're going to start negotiating compensation for all sides. It's going to be fun, right? It's going to be another extra layer involved in it. And so when you're doing your listings and your listing presentations, you need to be having these conversations with your sellers. Like, yeah, we're going to come up with some compensation, if any, still doesn't stop them from asking and having this negotiated down the road. Again, I think we're going to see some strategies are going to be no offer of compensation, but a willingness to offer concessions and having them be dependent upon what the offer looks like. I think that's kind of where some people ahead. We'll see. I think the ones that don't like change are probably still going to be offer of compensation, whatever the number is. So
I'm so glad we live where we do, because can you imagine what's going to go on in LA and
it's going to be a
all
bloodbath.
that rat race stuff like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, where nobody ever cares about whether they see the agent ever again.
They don't know the agents, where we mostly all know the agents. There's some new people coming in, but
Yeah.
and they'll work with you. They want to work with you. So
I agree. I think actually it's a really opportune time for all the local agents to even band tighter together. Not that we're trying to, I mean, I would never get into any kind of antitrust or anti-competitive, but this concept of local versus out of area is going to become even more important now, I think. Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. So put out useful information. Make yourself useful. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be real estate related. If you have a hobby that you love and you want to talk about wine or trash or whatever it is, right? You put that information out there in a way that
I feel comfortable with that. I feel good.
I absolutely. You want to, well, isn't there a big thing coming up about recycling? Don't we have some kind of law coming into effect in the next month or so?
What is
Where
it?
everybody's
Yeah.
getting 3 cans.
that's in the Golden Hills.
Certain areas.
Well, that's how it is in San
Stupid
Francisco, like
though.
cities, right?
Yeah, they're,
It's
I
so
mean,
stupid because they put all that out there, but they don't recycle. Waste management, they don't take that, they don't recycle all that. That's why it was so important when we had that material recovery facility, the MRF, that Tehachapi recycling thing. They would go out there and they would they had people stand up there
On an
and
assembly
say
thing, pulling.
plastic,
Mhm.
you know,
They don't do that
cardboard.
anymore?
They don't know, they got rid of it.
Oh, shit.
Waste management got rid of it.
So it's like a
And
total waste. Like why have
it's
separate
all
bins
bullshit
if
is what
it's-
it is,
So
seriously.
apparently, but I was talking to Jim about it, they're gonna have cameras on the trucks now too, that will take a photo of all your stuff dumping in.
In
Once
Bear
it
Valley?
hits, no, this is,
Oh,
we
Golden
were
Hills would have
different.
the cans.
It'll take a photo and then instead of it just throwing your trash into the collective of trash, it'll throw it into a compartment, take a photo and then sweep it away. Next can dump, take a photo,
Really?
sweep it away. And if you throw the wrong stuff in there,
You're
they'll
busted.
Yeah,
find
you're
you.
not supposed to throw
Oh my-
paint, you're not supposed to throw pesticides, you're not
Oh,
supposed to
yeah,
throw
the
anything.
tubes, the fluorescent tubes, batteries.
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing, man.
And they're doing that now.
They're gonna start, I think it's in the next couple of months. Jim was talking,
Wow.
this, the Golden Hills CSD was having a meeting about it. Either just had it or is going to have it.
Wow.
So it's really interesting on a business standpoint, how Jay Torres is going to be able to fund putting all of that stuff, because those trucks are very, very expensive, and putting cameras. And I mean, like even waste management now, the drivers, you cannot eat a bar, a power bar, or whatever, when you're driving down the road. You're not supposed to wave, you're not supposed to do anything but drive that truck, because there is someone constantly watching and you get in trouble for that.
There's a dash cam in your truck.
Well, not my trucks no more,
I
but
mean,
yeah, yeah, very,
I
very
believe it.
So why
expensive.
can't they wave at people?
Because
distracting.
it's distracting.
Taking your eyes off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, you're not allowed to text, but you're allowed to eat a burger, right? My mom has a little thing she found on TikTok. And it goes in your vent and it holds a sauce. It holds a little sauce.
Stop it.
For when you're dipping.
No.
I'm not kidding. I'm like, Mom.
yay, Dale.
It's the handy
Oh.
eating your car companion.
Mm.
Okay.
The,
That's
Yeah.
funny.
honey mustard that you dip in
Yeah.
your face.
So back to the point, guys, anything,
Honey
it doesn't
mustard.
have to be real estate related. If you want to become known for whatever it is, and as the other thing that you do, why is that important? To have more than just real estate out there?
It feels to.
Want to identify it.
Yeah, a wider variety, people that want to be hammered with your real estate all day long.
Yeah, what
They
if you're
wanna
not
see a little
interested
bit
in
of-
real estate?
They want to
Like,
see a
maybe
little
you
bit
have-
about your
yeah, maybe you
personality.
have something else to
right?
talk about than real estate.
Yeah, and maybe they're like, hey, you know, Darla loves fine dining or whatever it is. And so
Where are
do
you
I.
finding that?
So now I'm going
Not
to,
here.
now I'm gonna have something in common with her. So again, it's anything to break down that barrier between client and agent. Anything to break that down helps.
Right.
For
Like
sure.
who knows what mise en place is? Not many people, right?
There she goes again,
So,
see?
just saying.
All right, organize a community service project.
Uh-huh.
So another great way to do something. So what things have we seen around town in this capacity?
Well, you do the Salvation Army. You've done.
We've done Salvation
Yeah.
Army a lot in the
And,
past. It's been a little bit
Platinum
since
does
we've
it
done.
every week.
They do it every single week. They're
Yeah.
up there every
Yeah.
Tuesday, I think
Yeah.
it is, doing
Yeah.
their thing.
Lorena Samaranko puts freaking flags in everybody in the high rent district.
She puts
In their
flags in the
yard.
yard for Memorial Day, Veterans Day, 4th
Yeah.
of July. She puts little flags in everybody's yard. So they
Yep.
canvass the area, drop that off. What other kind of stuff?
Trash.
Trash pickup, right? We see a lot of trash
Mhm.
pickup.
you know.
Tars done trash pickup in the
Snow
past.
cones, soon to be movie tickets.
Oh,
All of the
yeah.
above. Yeah, absolutely. So what other things can we think of in our area? What kind of stuff can we specialize in? You know, it could be, I know a lot of you are into the pets, dogs, animals, right? For a while, you guys were going down to Marley's Mutts. You know, that was kind of a short little lived thing, but there was the Marley Mutt thing. Or what about a pet adoption day? Or
The
what
day,
about,
the day Lacey, when she came home with the dog.
yes, I know, that's the
No,
problem. You
like
guys want to bring them all
volunteering
home.
my time, and then they charged me a premium to
Yeah.
keep that dog, and I went,
Yeah.
Well, so what about getting in touch with the local vet and having, you know, you're just gonna support or sponsor vaccination day
yeah.
or whatever.
I'd be-
It doesn't have to be, you have to do the event. You can partner up with somebody. A lot of people here would love to partner up with you because they're gonna rely on your sphere of influence to increase their traffic, right?
I missed a
ahead.
really good opportunity when I had Brooke take like 7 dog
Carriers.
uh, houses, carriers to Marley's Nuts. 'Cause
Yeah,
I was
that
just
would have
trying
been
to get everything cleaned
amazing.
out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
So,
let's have somebody post that would be big.
yeah, I should have and I
It'd be
didn't.
big.
Yeah, I didn't.
so let's think of ways to give back to our community, whether it's the community that you guys each live in, or it's our community here at the office, or wherever, however, right? There's opportunity there. And again, this is basically how do we well round our business?
Well, yeah, because who knows better than the people who live here to identify what the community really needs?
Yeah, you could do that too. So you could reach out to your sphere and say, hey, I'm looking at ideas. What do you guys think? Right? Because maybe then you can find a champion somewhere in your sphere that can help you.
That's
do that
exactly what
event.
Lorena did. They wanted input from the community about how they could make the theater better.
Mhm. Yeah, Smart. Well, I mean, if we got
think she
4th
may
of
have
July coming
probably
up,
stole this
I
out
mean,
of
you could
my-
do
Yes, that's
something
what
in
I did.
conjunction with 4th of July, like have a float or have some kind of thing with country real estate on it.
Mhm. We did, when did we do the float for last time? Was that
Mountain Fest,
Mountain Fest?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hotter than heck that day, remember?
I don't remember it being hot per
It was
se.
hot.
The parade, parade.
Maybe
That's
we
did the
too
parade, yeah.
bad.
Hey, so
Yeah,
let's
we had
do
a
that.
house.
So I like that. We can put up some mariachis on the back of our float and they can play and we can drink margaritas and just wave at everybody.
I'm
Whatever.
sitting on top of the house this time.
All
I'm
right.
just gonna sit right on top of the little real estate house.
All right. So that's another thing we can do. Hosting a seminar. We talked about it a little bit already here, right? Hosting some kind of educational event that has value to people. Be it a seller seminar, a buyer seminar, market update seminar, investment seminar, lending seminar, whatever it is that you might want to do. If you really into interior design, maybe you can have that kind of seminar. Bring in current homeowners and say, hey, I'm going to have, so-and-so as a specialist in interior design. We're going to talk about the 10 ways that you can improve the value of your home through the way you paint, decor, landscape, whatever it might be. Anything, again, that just brings people in, you show value, just add to your sphere, right? You just, again, creating that, what do we call it, Darla? Amplitude. Just create that amplitude of our sphere. So there's another idea. And then we just wrap up with a few more here. Social media engagement, okay? This doesn't mean us putting out on social media. This means us looking at our sphere and engaging with their content. Somebody posts something, answer it. Somebody asks a question, answer it. Somebody posts a great date. Hey, it's so great to see you two having fun in Italy. I hope you enjoy your trip, right? Reaching out, because why do we post? Why do we post our stuff? We post it because we want other people to like it. We love it when other people engage. What does it release in our brains?
Serotonin.
Dopamine, serotonin, both of them, oxytocin. It depends, right? Depends on what kind of thing it is. Just sometimes just seeing that notification, that's dopamine. If they leave a message, that's probably oxytocin or serotonin, right? It's whatever one it is. One of them that makes you feel like you belong to a community, I think that's oxytocin. But that one of, oh my God, somebody answered, dopamine. Very addictive. It's very addictive. So if you're in there constantly on their social media, engaging with them. So some people, I've heard a lot of coaches say, when you wake up in the morning and you're drinking a cup of coffee, jump on social media for the first 30 minutes just to engage. And just, hey, great to see you. Looks like you had fun. Great concert. Oh, you were at that game? I hate the Dodgers. Go Padres. Whatever it is you want to say out there to create that kind of engagement. Did you like how I slipped that one in there?
Oh, I'm paying attention.
So again, that's another great way to build that amplitude of your sphere. And then offer exclusive deals. Okay, so offer to your SOI exclusive deals or discounts on your services. Show your appreciation. Is it illegal to pay somebody a referral commission who doesn't have a license?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it illegal to pay somebody a finder's fee for sending you
No.
clientele?
No.
No, but
No.
you gotta pay taxes on it.
No, it isn't. All right. So how does that look different? So if you say to your sphere, if you refer somebody to me, I'll give you a $100 gift card to the club or $100 gift card to Chipotle or Home Depot or whatever it is that you do. You just can't make it dependent upon whether or not that referral closes the transaction, right? If that referral closes the transaction and then you pay, now you're really walking that fine line of, did you just give somebody commissions that's unlicensed? Now, if they turn over a referral to you, you can make it conditional on if they sign a BRBC, if they sign a listing agreement, then I will give you whatever. That's a finder's fee. That is a referral fee. So you can do that. That is much better than waiting for somebody to close a transaction and then giving them something. Because now, yeah, like I said, you're kind of on the line there. So both H and I offer exclusive deals, create a loyalty program. Those kind of both work in conjunction. Here's another idea on the create a loyalty program. Let's say once a year you did some kind of amazing event, some kind of great customer appreciation party, and you only invited small number, you only invited people that gave you a referral. And maybe it's a much nicer cocktail party than normal at a much nicer place with maybe an open bar for the first hour. It's going to cost you some money. You might spend a couple grand, right? Big deal. But it's your top line people. And you bring in a professional photographer and they walk in on the red carpet and you get the photo and the whole thing. And you got a videographer there and you're building this just amazing event and you post it all over social media. And then all your other clients are like, hey, why didn't you invite me? Oh, I'm so sorry. That party is reserved for my referral clients, the ones that have referred me. Oh, really? So if I refer you, I get to go to that? Absolutely. Yeah, that's killer. I know a lady who does that. Her name's Barbara Betts out of Long Beach. She does that. She has twice a year. She has this big event, one of the nice restaurants down there, full red carpet, and does the same thing, invites like 30 people, the top 30. And then other people ask her, how come I didn't get invited? Well, you weren't in my top 30. Oh, how do I get into it?
That could backfire too, you know.
I feel like that's offensive.
Yeah.
Could
I mean,
be.
I could
just
say,
the
Not
thought.
illegal.
I'm gonna
mean,
shred
well,
you.
No, not
you know?
legalities, but my goodness,
Yeah.
talk about isolating somebody.
I would like,
You know, I mean,
that's
Could be.
That
It's full. I mean, I'm sure she's figured out a way to get around that part.
Mm.
You know, because her whole thing is real estate by relationship. That's what she calls it. Right? She's trying to build relationships with people. She's reaching out to her sphere. She's offering value. Certain ones are kicking back, and she's rewarding them. So I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be the one to make that call. Why didn't you invite me? I would say, well, that's rough.
Well, you know,
That's
maybe
in the trenches, rough.
it could be. Think of other ways that you can create a kind of a loyalty program. And in this industry, we really can't do buy 10, get one free. Right? I'm not buying you your 11th house, but there are things that you could probably think of. We could probably dive into that one a little further. But I think offering exclusive deals, maybe if you're a return client, you're going to give them a slightly better deal when you turn around to sell their home again. So it could be a lot of different things. It could be part of a closing gift for a buyer is a coupon for when you go to sell, right? Because now it's repeat business, because we love to have that repeat. I think any of us would take repeat business at a slight discount,
Yeah.
right? All day long, right? Or, same thing, give them a coupon to refer a friend and receive a gift card. Give them a little coupon when you close a house with them. A lot of different things you can do. Just be creative, think outside of the box a little bit. And then personalized gifts. Obviously, everybody loves to be felt to be made important. So birthday cards, holiday gifts, housewarming presents, things that are personalized. You can get, we have, a lot of us bought some Cutco. A lot of us, I got a stack of knives back there I got to get rid of. I keep forgetting that I even have it. So
Those are good knives.
oh, they're great knives.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all personalized with our information. Or what about like when you see the cutting board and you can put the client's name on it right? You can
I
say
like that
the
a lot.
Smiths,
I just never
the
done that.
Smiths, and then you have your little logo over there so they don't forget who it's from, right? So anything like that, personalized gift, great idea. Also personalized gifts though might just be gifts that mean something to that person. So, you know, again, if they're a big wine enthusiast, maybe you go out and buy them a nice $200 bottle of wine and go, hey, when you guys drink this, just think of me in this transaction, right? Save this for your 1-year anniversary of being here in the house. Could be another idea. So any questions, guys, on how to build a sphere of influence with amplitude and the importance of it? Anybody want to throw anything else in here? Did I miss anything? Did I forget anything?
No, pretty well done.
Does anybody have any ideas of something that they need to incorporate into their business that they aren't doing? You guys probably all should have something. Something should resonate. Video
Yeah, the
text.
video text. I really would like to do that. I do. I just haven't done it. And I do really, I like to offer value. So something that's interesting in the city, or, you know, like you said, the rummage sales, you know, stuff like that, or about trash. Hey, when you're cleaning out your yard, you need to segregate, and this is how you do it. That's
Yeah.
kind of good information, because people
It's great
don't have any
information.
idea. They just throw their shit in the thing. But
Yeah.
you know,
So I could already see it now, right? Brooks got the camera, you're on the microphone, and Jeff's over there doing the demo, right? Love it. I think that's fantastic. We're
Right.
like, hey, no, that goes in that. And he's like, oh, sorry, hold on.
or I'm just the white housewife. That's the joke in my house, because I'm white, he's Mexican. That, you know,
Oh,
God.
shit.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Make sure he's okay. Fell right on his knees.
oh. Yeah, there's a.
Oh, boy, it's one of the hikers?
I was gonna say that about ruined his whole hike. Yeah.
He looked down at the red curve and he goes, and it's even marked.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yeah, I could
Yeah,
be the
you're
white
okay.
housewife throwing just batteries in the trash. And, you know,
You're
Jeff
not allowed
going,
to do that?
no.
Does he have an old uniform? Did they ever wear uniforms out at Ben's?
No, but he
No.
has a Ben shirt
Yeah.
he could wear. Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, I think that'd
Yeah,
be
waste
good.
management be like, what the heck?
Yeah. I'm joking, you guys have any like a no compete clause?
Yeah, and you know, it's really not Ben Sanitation anymore. I mean, we don't own that name anymore.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, you might break some rules there. So be careful.
I'm sure I'll get a call right from Waste Management ready to sue me.
What about anybody else? Anybody else have any ideas of things that they can add?
Just following up more with previous clients, and then just keeping kind of like what you do out, like wearing your name badge, or you know, just talking to people when you're out and about, and you know, not necessarily just to drum up business, but just to get, you know, kind of a connection with people.
Mhm.
They remember that.
Yeah,
You know.
just networking with them.
Michael Boutte, I've worked with him for many years over at Remax, and he had that funky looking car, a really old Cadillac.
Oh,
and-
that was a boat. Yeah, I
And-
always knew there's Michael
And every
Boutte.
time somebody would say, hey, love your car, he'd give them a card.
Absolutely. Darla,
Grocery
anything?
store, whatever.
He was the original player.
No, I was literally
Yeah.
scratching my head.
No, but is anything that you think you need to add to your list
Rare
of
events ones?
the things that you could do to increase your amplitude? I'm gonna use that term all week.
You could sell your shit at Mountain
We're
Festival
gonna get
or
I'm
the
gonna get a t-shirt made that
farmer's
says, have
market.
you increased your amplitude?
Oh, yeah. Get a booth. Now, Remax, we always had a booth at Mountain Festival, handed out balloons, and we had all our real estate stuff out there. And
One time when we did the movies in the park, we handed out ice cream. Freaking kids were going crazy over that. Yeah, that was a
Mhm.
good one.